Yeah, she'll probably come just walk it in the door. Okay.
Call this July 14th, 2025 meeting of Elmira Town Council to order. All members are present. Welcome in attendance. We have Patrick from GFL. We have Jordan Jackson Felton, Brian Edwards, and Colleen Parker. Welcome all. First item is the consent agenda, approval of June 30th minutes, finance reports, and budget amendment number 7.
Make a motion that we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Further discussion? All right, all in favor of approving the consent agenda, say aye. Any opposed? Consent agenda carries. I'm guessing we have some public comment since we got a bunch of folks here today.
Yeah.
All right.
I guess y'all won't speak, right?
No, I'm here to listen.
Just observation. Okay.
Jordan, speaking?
We're just here to listen.
Fair enough. Okay. All right, Mr. Jackson, you have a fire report for us.
I do have one. Going forward, I have one for the month, but this is for the January 1 to year to now, June 30th. They've had 188 fire and rescue calls this year so far. They've had 98 medical calls, so a total of 286. It'll be broke down a little different going forward as far as assisting other stations and equipment update. Hand it to Sheila. Hopefully we got it in place to interact
Where it'll be
a
easier.
little more efficient.
Good. Equipment's up.
Sir?
Yeah, all equipment's up.
Yes, sir.
Cool.
Everything's up and running at the moment. I guess.
All right, council reports. Edward Jackson completed his audit. Miss Martha Lucas is up.
Yeah, I do. There's no COG meeting this month, so.
Any other council reports?
I apologize for it taking so long on the seal, but I honestly have not reached out lately, but I promise you I'll have something next meeting.
All right. All right, new business. We've got the representative from GFL who is offering to help us with trash service for our residents. Patrick Luce, and I'll just turn the floor over to him.
Okay. Well, for you people that I haven't introduced myself, I'm Pat Luce. I'm with GFL. I've been with the company a little over 23 years. Some of you guys might know us by Waste Industries. Waste Industries has been in business for 50-some years, and we merged in 2018 with GFL. So that's the new name. GFL was a Canadian company that didn't have any presence in the United States, so it was a nice merge in terms of footprint. So you guys reached out in terms of maybe wanting to do some trash collection, and I've given you all 2 options here, one trash only and one with trash and recycling. I don't know which way you guys are leaning. We're good either way. Just trying to understand your needs and what makes the most sense for you.
So what is the, I mean, I haven't seen an actual.
What was the 2 choices now?
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, I thought you guys had been given the...
We did, we got it.
Okay, well, yeah, we can go through it then.
Okay.
Okay, that'd be good.
Yeah, let's Okay,
In your
there's,
package.
yeah, there's two agreements that I put in here, okay? One is trash only, okay? That's, and you can go all the way to the back page, which has Exhibit A on it with the pricing. And that's for residential service for MSW, which is trash, service once a week. We'll supply and maintain the 95-gallon carts. It'll be $15 per cart per month.
What's that?
No-
Hold on, I need help
Okay.
Yeah.
finding.
The only thing I got
It's
is
just
the
the one?
contracts and the Gmail that you sent me. What you sent me through Gmail.
So
Okay,
it's just
And then
a
I sent, yeah,
one-page
then I sent you
thing.
two.
Okay,
two
got it.
contracts.
Thank you.
Contract, I didn't give those,
I got
I
it.
just gave me the quotes.
Which one is it, Richard?
right here.
Right here,
Okay.
it's just a
I
one-page
passed
thing.
over to,
Now, it's got to collect it once a week, get the 95-gallon containers, $15 per quart.
And I had
Now, I think the 140 units, I was looking at some, and it may be a little more than that, but that
yeah,
was the rate we went with.
yeah, we were just using an approximation there.
There was a question at our last budget meeting about if there was more units or somebody moved into the neighborhood or moved out of the neighborhood, is it gonna be an issue adding new people?
No, it's just an addition or a
Matter
deletion.
calling, you
Yeah,
saying we need a cart delivered to such and such address, it'll be the
Yeah.
same rate.
Yep, and if, I mean, if it's a new house, of course, it's a new cart. If it's an existing house, we can use the same cart that was there. So, yeah,
Now, if somebody at first says they don't want it and they change their mind down the road and say this how they do want it,
well, this is kind of an all-in thing. You know, I mean, if we've got 150 people here, we're not gonna do like 110 and then somebody comes on and off. It's based on the whole community. But yeah, so I had sent Sheila.
So if everybody doesn't sign up, you're still gonna bill for that? For the ones that don't?
Yeah, we
Got
can.
15?
Yeah, what we can do is we can at least come to a minimum number of people that we would do service for. Okay, talking initially, we were 140, I think.
yeah, that was the number we had, yeah.
Okay, so you guys currently have people that just take their trash somewhere?
That's what everybody does,
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Right.
Trash them 2 miles down the road.
Yeah,
just like the one that's sitting out there, or the black and green top.
yeah. So, yeah, I mean, we can come to a number that's agreeable to both parties on that, and then from that point on, that's what'll be get billed.
If they wanted to do recycling, it wouldn't be the 95-gallon trash can, what would that be? Would that be like a box?
No.
A little box, or
No,
was that a
no, we'd have
container?
a card as well for that. And the two separate colors, two different trucks.
What color would the recycle, I'm just asking, she was asking about them.
Light green, I believe, is the recycle around here, and the trash one is black with a
Green lid.
with green top on that. And the recycling gets picked up by a different truck. It's taken back to our transfer station, and then it is transferred over to Sunoco Recycling. It's a single stream. There's no sorting, you know, in the cart. When it gets to the recycle plant, they've got an automated recycle that kind of moves everything out.
But in that one, they put like the cardboard and that kind of thing.
Yeah, and we would supply a list of things.
Now, in the recycling one, do you put it in bags or do you just put it in?
Yeah, you don't want to put it in the
Okay,
bags.
all right, okay,
Bags
okay.
is one thing that'll
Yeah.
clog up the
Right,
sorters.
yeah, well, I know when we take it to Spring Hope, we take it out of the bag and put it in the recycle.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And, but the other ones, you do want us to put it in bags.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, that is one, but nobody's trash and the one's for trash.
Right,
pickup,
right,
yeah.
yeah.
And we'll put together like a little welcome letter and.
Yeah, because would you send out a scheduling or something for everybody?
Yeah, for the holiday schedule.
Okay,
all that kind of
that's,
stuff, too.
yeah, that was my next question.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Say somebody's off the road and the house is not right on the road, do they have to roll it to the road?
Yes. to go down.
A path, or drive a long driveway.
That's right.
You said the trash collection would be one day and the recycling would be another day, separate days, right?
I'd have to, no, we would probably have them on the same day. I'll double check that. It gets a little taxing for people if you have a trash collection on Tuesday and a recycle on Friday. That just gets confusing for everybody. So I need to find out what route we're gonna put it on. I think we would put it on, Spring Hope. So, but yeah.
The recycling would be every other week.
It would be
right?
every other week, that is
And the
correct.
trash would be every week.
Yes, ma'am.
So some people get picked up now. Is that truck coming from Spring Hope? I mean, that choose have do business with you, right? I see the truck coming by here.
Yeah, I mean, that could, yeah, I think we're there, you'll have to, because I do the whole state. I think we're there Thursday and Friday there. So I think it would be.
They usually pick up our trash here on Friday.
Friday, so,
I think
yeah.
it's the same one that
Yeah,
goes
they
down
do,
there.
Okay.
they do that at the mobile home park too, it's usually
Yeah.
on
Yeah,
Friday.
she's
Yeah.
on Fridays.
I mean, there's some other local trash collectors around
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
that do it.
So I guess our first order, we'd have to figure out how many people want it. For sure. And go from there, I would think.
Yeah, again, the pricing I put together was, was based on, what you supplied me as number of people.
Right.
So that's what I put as.
Okay.
And then we normally do a 5-year contract, but the size of this is pretty small, so I cut that down to a 3. And then there's language in there if you want it, if things are good, if you want to extend it after that, you can. There's also language in there for breach on our part, for cancellation, so both parties are covered on that.
Okay.
Hopefully that's something we never deal with, but anyway, the language is in there. We try to make the contract, a win-win for both parties, if for a relationship to be successful, it's got to be beneficial to both
Right.
groups.
Right.
Well, I just can't, for me personally, I would like to try, to extend the option to the community. We have resources to cover the funding of it. I know there was some discussion at the town meeting. I didn't hear anything about not doing it. I heard, questions that were brought up, but I don't know, maybe the group can share
Colleen, how do you feel about it,
if it's,
to trash pickup?
it's
not having to worry
why
about
it's a
it?
negative.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I'm for it, and like I said, Emily Bass was tickled, Miss Sue read it in the graphic, and she was kind of tickled about the fact that they were gonna have trash pickup, so.
I'm neutral on it. I'd love to see, get a response, reach out to the citizens and see what kind of participation personally before we make a decision. Either way is fine with me. I just think
Brian, do you have any comment on it?
before we make that effort,
It doesn't bother me one way or other.
Okay. Sheila, how you feel about it?
we need
I
to
think
get
so
a,
far as the older people, we have a lot of older people in Maymire, and I think it would be beneficial to them.
Yeah, I do too.
Not having to worry about taking their trash off.
Right.
I guess we need to get a number from y'all that you'd be satisfied if all of them don't take it. And then we work toward reaching out to our citizens to see how many want to participate. see if it's justifiable for both sides.
Or we could do it the other way.
Yeah, say this is.
Yeah, you come to me and say, hey, look, this is what we're looking at. We've got 150 homes here and 100 homes want to do it. And at that point, we can say, yeah, that makes sense for us, or that doesn't make sense. Does that?
Right.
Does,
Well, either way.
It's the same, we're accomplishing the same thing,
Right.
yeah, different ways. But that way, then you're kind of putting the ball in my court as far as,
Right,
you know, whether we.
make a decision.
Yeah, yes, sir. And we're fine with that, yeah. And if, Sheila, if you want, or I can, you can give them, you can do copies of the contracts that
Yes,
that I sent
yes,
you,
of
that
course.
way,
Yes, I got it.
that way y'all can read the fine print.
Yeah.
Would this extend into ETJ?
It's not proposed to. But there, I mean, there's no proposal per se anyway. Right now, we've only set aside the line item in budget and stuff. I think, to your point, Edward, finding out what the actual people on the ground want is ultimately gonna be our guide. You know,
Say it again.
finding out what the people in town want is
Right.
ultimately needs to be our
Sending out
guide.
a
Yes, sir.
letter,
You know.
that's what he's saying.
That's, I mean,
Right, that's what
that's
I'm
the only
Yeah.
major concern I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to be shoving anything down people's throat that,
Well, I don't think you would. I mean, either they want it or they don't. but-
Exactly.
yeah. But what you're dealing with though is, you guys though would be responsible for the billing, right? So yeah, you want people, because at that point it becomes mandatory, you know, for that number. So you guys want to have a comfort feeling that, you know, yes, this is what our community wants, and if they don't want it, that's fine too. That's what.
So it's saying, so let me make sure I have it straight in my mind here.
Yeah.
We're saying 140, okay, and we send out letters, you know, which do you want, trash and recycling, or do you just want trash? You ask them which do they want, if they want to participate or not. And when we get it back, it's 120 people that want to do it, and 20 people don't want to do it, 20 households. So then we would go with 120 for being billed, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And will we have to add a few in case somebody moves in or moves out?
Yeah,
To be able to add those onto the contract with them?
That's probably
yeah, that's not
That's
not
probably a common issue.
yeah,
People
yeah.
always moving in.
Yeah, whether it's a 3,000, you know, household
Percentage might
account.
be different. but-
That's what I'm saying, we would have to say, if 120 people say right now, yes, we want it, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And then you're gonna bill us for 120 people. But we have to allot some in
Yeah,
that 3-year contract we'll pay you for somebody coming in or out.
Yeah, we could put something in there. Okay, let's just to use 120
Right.
as a number. We say billing will be 120. You know, and we'll allow up to 5 that move out or something. We'll come up with a number that.
And
that
you
there's
also
some-
may have some that, well, I tried it, I decided I don't want it. And you have, obviously, that would happen, I mean, could happen. And then you got some that say, I didn't sign up to begin to, but I want to start.
That's right.
So-
Yeah, but we'll definitely come up with a number that's gonna be minimum though. So
Right.
if we start at 120, we'll say it's not gonna drop below 115. say.
Right,
Yeah.
Something like that.
That's what I was just wanting to
Yeah,
be sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's understandable.
And I guess there's really no way, because I know Brian had questioned about long-term. I know it's a 3-year, there's no way to tell what it'll be in 3 years for renewal, I'm sure.
in terms of what?
Renewal, if we renew it in 3 years.
Like the cost.
Yeah, you know what we can do, you know, because in the contract, you know, our contracts are based on a CPI increase, garbage and trash, and that's been averaging right about 5%. So I can put some language in the contract that, so for budgeting purpose, so let's say the CPI for garbage and trash is 5.8%, but let's say we just put something in here that says we'll use the index of garbage and trash, but not to exceed 5%. Something like that. So you know every year that's what you're looking at. So that helps people with budgeting
Every
purposes.
contract cycle, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Saying that we'll be doing 3 years, kind of what we're looking at,
That's-
that rate being
That's right.
for renewal.
Yeah,
Or at least worst case scenario.
that's right.
Right. I just, it was one question that Brian had had about, cost in the future
Yep.
with renewal.
Yeah, and look, after 3 years, we sit down and you say, you know what, this is good. We want to move forward. What's it going to be? And then we can, we'll put in an amendment and renew it. So, or you go, man, we don't want to do this anymore. We go the opposite way.
Well, I just don't, I don't see a lot of who knows how people think differently, but I don't see a lot of negatives unless you want to create some. I just don't,
I don't either.
I don't see it,
I agree with you.
but
Yeah,
that's just from my perspective.
right, yeah.
Yeah. You will get your feedback. People are, as you guys know, and people are mighty particular about their trash.
Yes, they are.
Okay.
Some of the stories. So yeah, you guys kick it around, get the feedback that you want. Give me a call. I'll come back or whatever, and we'll figure it out one way or
I'll
the
try
other.
to get that done
Okay.
this week, get letters sent out to.
Yeah, and look, you're gonna send out, 150 letters or something.
Probably, okay.
Yeah, keep in mind what your participation as far as people replying is gonna be on that too. So that might skew your thoughts. That's why like a lot of when we do these, and this is a small one, which is fine. We do small ones as well. But the way most of them do it instead of a letter is kind of what you guys do as far as allowing for public comment at a meeting, and that gives you a good feel too. A lot of times letters get thrown in the round container.
Yeah. But we have had good response in the letters that we've sent out.
Okay,
A lot
so-
of the things we sent out lately, because it's different. They used to not get letters, now they get letters, and they're like, oh, we get letters now. Surprising them. Shock factor.
Yeah, and it sounds like this is a pretty tight community
Yeah.
anyway, and the
Yeah.
word's
Your
gonna
word of mouth,
word's
that
gonna
word of
spread a
mouth
little
too.
bit
Yeah.
too,
Mhm.
and people talk and they say, I don't think I like this, or yeah, you know what, this makes a lot of sense for us.
We'll have to get it sent out and find out exactly.
Okay. And I think everybody's got my card. If anybody need,
Yes, sir.
did you not?
Don't have it.
Okay. And if you've got any specific questions, you can call me
Now,
or
I
email
think-
me or.
I think Brian asked this at our public hearing.
Yeah.
The ones that don't in the towns, they can still go to the local county trash dump.
Yeah, they'd have to, right?
Well, the reason I asked that, I have seen people from a local town go to our local trash dump, and they were from town, and they got turned away.
You got to have a sticker now to get in.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and. it-
Well, the people knew each other,
Right.
and they knew they got trash pickup in town, but they were bringing their trash to
Oh,
the
from-
county
Okay.
dump, which is right outside the town. It was Spring Oak,
Yeah, gotcha.
and the people actually got turned away.
I plan to keep my access.
Well, that's what, because we're like.
'Cause you're not
for bulk
gonna,
and
you
stuff
may have
like-
something that you
Yeah, right,
can't put
right.
in the trash
But
can, so.
Will said you can get a cheaper rate that way. We'll have to check into that, Brian. Because I know that Will want to do that too.
Yeah, I certainly can keep my,
My bulk rate, yeah.
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 If you look on your tax
So
bill,
what,
it
Richard?
charges you
I
twice.
certainly wanna keep
Once
my-
per collection.
My tag to be
Yeah,
able
me-
to go
me-
to.
me
the-
too.
You know,
And I don't know if that's still in place, but I've actually seen that happen in Spring Hope. Somebody from Spring Hope went to dump their trash.
mhm.
Yeah, you gotta have that.
Matter of fact, they had their green trash can with the town of Spring Hope written on it.
Right.
Not a good move.
But you gotta have that, you gotta have
And
that
they got,
tag thing.
this was
And you
before
gotta
they
have
started,
that tag.
my card.
this was
Right,
before they issued the tags
Yeah,
to the citizens.
yeah, I mean, when I was running the business in Spring Hill, I got called on that one
Yeah.
time. I was dumping
Right.
some stuff.
I don't know whether they're still doing that or,
Well, that was,
You
you know,
still
I
pay
think the
your county
article in the
taxes.
paper about it at one time. About
It
the
wasn't
fact
a
that they were
big
having
issue.
issues.
right.
No, it's not, but.
Was called on the carpet.
And it, like I said, it may be because he went there with his trash can town of Spring Hope on it.
Right, yeah.
I wasn't that bold.
Instead,
but-
instead of just a bag of trash.
Yeah.
But that is a question that, because I would want to keep that, I've known, but like Richard said,
Makes sense.
I didn't know if you'd ever run into that before.
Not really. But I'm not on the ops side, you know, in terms of, so. Yeah, so whatever's happening there is kind of a separate issue from what we're doing anyway. Any other questions? Alright. Well, you guys let me know, and it was nice meeting everybody, and I hope you guys have a great day.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Drive careful.
Everybody feel better on track? We know we still have some work to do.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Good. Okay. All right, let's shoot on to our budget. Obviously, we missed the state mandated deadline. We'll see what they do about that, but we'll move forward.
Well, there was one item that was not discussed in our last meeting, and I don't feel like I have completed what I was supposed to do until we do that. So, the reason I hesitated and didn't say anything was because in the past we have had closed meeting. So do we want to do closed meeting on wages? That's the one we did not cover. Or do we want to do it now open?
Well, I was not gonna ask for a raise immediately for Sheila, because we've been talking about benchmarks, and she's got a couple more to achieve, and then we do a closed session once those are achieved. We're just setting aside the money at this point.
Okay, well, I'm gonna give you what I have written down
Okay.
pertaining to this. And then I will be through.
Okay.
Okay, wages, 2024-25, her wages was $18,304. For 2025-26, it's been raised to $22,000, which is an increase of $3,696 for a year. And if I have figured correctly, that's a 20.2% increase. Okay, and in 2024-25, we increased Sheila's salary 50 cents per hour to $16 per hour. She works 42 hours. She gets paid every 2 weeks. That would be 26 pay periods, which would be 1,092 hours. 42 hours we budgeted last year for her work with the planning board. Probably she will spend more hours than that this year if they work with that group that's coming. So I figured up that, with the planning board, it was $217 is what we paid her last year, divided by $16 per hour equals 13.56 hours. I rounded that off to 14 hours, so 1,106 hours is what I computed that she worked. $22,000 divided by 1,106 hours equals $19.89 per hour. And 1,106 hours times $19.89 equals $21,998.34.
So what's that increase an hour?
That is an increase of $3.89 per hour. And that's all I have.
And that was the reason I had tabled the vote, because we'd always held a closed session and we discussed salaries and prior to our budget being voted on. So that was my purpose. And I think we need to keep the closed session
No, I agree.
anytime we do salaries.
Yeah,
and-
that's a personnel issue, perfectly
Yeah.
appropriate. Yep.
But appreciate all you do on the budget, George Allen.
Well, I didn't feel like I had completed my job until I did this.
Right.
I try to do my best at
Yes,
everything I do.
ma'am. We
I
know too.
think you do a fine job.
I did forget to mention when it was my time I did go this week and sign up to run again. I got to go fill out, I got some papers I got to fill out and take back, but I did go sign up, so.
So do we need to reduce that line item and stick it somewhere else? Or, now one thing that wasn't mentioned, we have at times given her a bonus too. I want to make sure we do leave enough there.
Right,
Yeah, we always give her a bonus at Christmas.
yeah.
Um,
I guess we've never really budgeted for that.
Right,
Right.
exactly. But that would land in that same item too, so.
So how do we handle that, George Allen? About the increase?
I've given y'all
So,
the explanation of this. I didn't have anything to do with this, so I'll turn it over to the mayor.
so now going forward, if we vote on the budget and pass it, that still does not determine what her raise will be.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not until there's a closed session, just like the trash line. Just because we leave the budget line item, it
Right.
doesn't mean we're writing the checks to the
Right,
trash company.
until we, everything's set.
Until we've actually sat down and had that session.
Like, I think what the question was really because we hadn't had a closed session
Right.
prior to the budget being put out. So,
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So do we approve the budget with certain line items,
well, I don't know that it needs a stipulation,
Right,
because we still got to go through the motions of voting,
Right, right.
picking out.
I'm not gonna write a check, y'all don't authorize it right, you know? And, I mean, that's up to you guys as far as whether that line item gets played with or, just gets left as the money's set aside and then whatever it ends up being later in the year.
Well, if we vote on it and it passes, and it's not been decided on those items yet, we can always move
We have that ability.
move funds just on the line item.
Exactly. And again, like the point that Jordan brought up in the public hearing, should the insurance rate skyrocket or something along those
Right,
lines, we do have the ability to
Well, that comes into
rewrite
play.
a budget.
That comes into play somewhat, but that's sort of a separate than her hourly salary.
Right, exactly. But we've still gotta
yeah.
have
Well, it's
money.
like
It's
it-
part of the big picture.
Like when the utilities go up or the gas goes,
Exactly.
gas goes up and everything, we have to make adjustments over the year for anything like that, so.
Exactly.
Well, to go forward, I'll make a motion we pass the budget, this on, been presented.
I second it.
Any further discussion? All in favor of passing the fiscal year 2025-26 budget as written, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries, budget passes.
Let's do this. Okay, that's our balance in that train.
Moving to the ethics policy.
Okay.
We have, over the years, voted on this, on several of these, it looks like.
Yeah, we had them at the bank all the time.
Yeah, exactly. And what we probably need to do going forward is make sure that with its passage, we talk about how this is getting distributed. Because like I said, I'm a year and a half into a term, I should have been handed one of these on day one.
Right.
Josh should have been handed one on day one. LaRue should have been handed one on day one, you know, so that's part of what we need to add in there, ultimately. True compliance instead of shadow.
Right.
And I will say, I did not write this one. But I actually covered everything in the statute.
Well, I know it doesn't look like I read through the dockets, but I actually did, several times. I believe it's easier to find on the computer than it is in this packet.
It is.
Tried to stack it, sorry y'all.
That's
I think I did
okay,
more than
it's not
stack
you.
it.
You wanna look
It
at
was
mine,
toward the end.
Richard?
I got it right here now, but it was toward the end on the computer.
Brian, would you like to see this,
No.
maybe?
That's fine.
Jordan?
I just wrote down here, what are some practical examples of a breach of the code of ethics for council members? I mean, can we just, I mean, I've read, it's pretty simple wording, but I mean, I was just wondering, could we throw out just some, doesn't have to be real examples, but just,
Yeah.
you know, kind of situational, maybe, you know, that would make it real.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's hard to say.
I mean,
And ultimately, much to our chagrin at the federal level, the governing body very often determines what's ethical and what's not.
right.
Well, we have
So
to,
it's kind of in the eye of the beholder in a lot of ways.
I mean, we follow what the state requires us to take the ethics training,
Right, yeah.
which is very exciting.
It's fun. Yeah, it's tons of fun.
For us.
That's when you and I did it on the computer. And they
Yeah.
came up here to do it.
Yeah, but I'm just saying,
You want an
if
example.
you put it into practice.
Yeah,
So if Edwin and I have a meeting after the meeting to discuss what we talked about in the meeting, is that a breach?
Well, you and Edward, no. But if you and Edward and Martha got together, that's a meeting. And as long as you had minutes to that meeting, you're good.
So if you got a majority,
If you have
So
a
if you got
quorum,
3 out
it's a
of the
meeting.
4,
right.
Yes. And that doesn't mean if the 3 of you are sitting around the table at church having dinner,
right?
it's if you're discussing town business,
Right, yeah.
according to open meetings law.
Right.
So if things appear to be kind of orchestrated, you might think that maybe, hey, this looks like,
That could be something up for discussion, for sure.
okay. I'm just trying to put,
No,
I'm limited.
when you start throwing legalese around, real world scenarios are helpful. But no, that would be a good one there, Richard.
Okay. I mean, I just, so are we looking to adopt this as policy, or are we just looking to discuss it?
If we,
Is this over and beyond what the state requires now?
I can show you the statute. It's a little more flowery language than the statute.
Do you want me to make them copies so they can read it? Do y'all want one
Anybody else want a
responsive?
copy?
You want
No,
one, Richard?
No.
This one's actually sat on this table before.
Right, yeah.
Like I said, I didn't write it.
And where is this from?
That's from our North Carolina General Statute 160A, and what's the number right there on top
Or
of
is
it?
this already in place
Yeah.
with the state?
Yeah, we're not talking
But
theoreticals now.
but isn't this pretty much what we go through anyway with the ethics training?
It's similar, but as you see there, it requires that we have a written policy.
Right.
So it would just be in writing.
So we do actually need to approve this then.
Approve it or something else, something written a different way. And like I said, what we're really looking to do is when new members in town government show up, they need to know this exists.
Yeah, I agree
Well, I mean,
with
a
that.
new member has to go through the ethics training.
Right, but then.
But that's
like you-
different than having our,
Right, this is our own ethics,
Right.
code of ethics, and so if you're a new board member or planning board member, you would really need to see this. And let you know that it exists.
I see nothing wrong with it.
I don't either. So I make a motion that we adopt this resolution of code of ethics for the town of Mulberry.
Second.
may I make a suggestion?
Yes, sir.
Adopt, and then it will be issued, say, upon inauguration for
Okay.
all
All
members.
right, yeah, you can add that, Sheriff.
Something along those lines.
That all right with you, Richard?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
All right, any further discussion? All in favor of adoption of the resolution adopting a code of ethics for the town of Momire and issuing to all government officials upon inauguration, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. You guys have copies, we'll make sure the planning board gets copies on their next meeting. Next thing we had after we were discussing the planning board last month, we were asked for information. So I provided you guys with a packet with hopefully some education of what a planning board is, what it's supposed to do, what it can't do, all from the North Carolina School of Government. Same
Did you
info-
skip something?
Yeah, you did.
Did I? Oh, I did
Yeah,
skip
capital
capital
funds.
reserve something funds.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy.
Good catch. Yeah, I checked it while I was doing the ethics policy. Sheila, do you have that paperwork that we had for the capital reserve funds?
Should be in your packet.
Yeah, everybody's got a copy.
I didn't see it. I saw it in my email, but I didn't see it here.
You need a copy?
I might.
Mine. I thought I put one in there. Did I not use one?
Oh, see it.
There ain't yet. Okay, you have mine.
Oh,
That's
no,
it
no,
right
no,
there.
that's that.
He's
That's
got
that.
it.
I got it. I got
He's
it.
got it.
I didn't see what I was looking for.
I was
'cause
gonna say,
it
I
was
checked
behind-
these things 3 times.
It was behind the state.
You got it, Richard?
I think so.
Yep.
I don't know if I gave you one or not.
Sorry, it was behind the state. So last year we went through and we named these funds, and I told you guys that there were additional steps to the process. If you turn to page 2 here, again, this is pulled straight from the statute. Down at the bottom where it's been highlighted, we have to establish the purposes for which the fund was created, the approximate time period during which money will be accumulated for each purpose, the approximate amounts to be accumulated for each purpose, and the sources for monies from each purpose will be derived. There are also limitations on what those funds can be. They can only be something for which we may issue a bond. So if you go back about 4 pages to, it says page 45 on the bottom of it. All the rest of that is purposes for which we may issue bonds, which are purposes we're allowed to set that money aside for. What this is doing is the state basically telling you no slush funds.
Right.
And there's a lot of information there. We may not have a full resolution today. We may have to bounce it back and forth a little bit.
As far as how we've been operating since 91, I mean, the state has signed off on what we've done, and our audit has always been passable, up to par, with a pat on the back.
Okay, your audit is not looking at compliance.
Right.
If you read the first
I was just
page-
saying, this is what we go through.
But and let me explain to you what your audit is actually looking at. And it tells you on the first page of that book that comes to us every year. It says specifically that they are not looking at regulatory compliance. They are not looking at compliance with law. They are not saying your fraud controls actually are effective. They're looking at you have fraud control of some sort and that your money's going where it says it's going. Basically checking your check. That's all that they're looking at. What you're believing that it is more like what would be called a forensic audit. And that's not what that is. That's more like a $20,000 to $30,000 paycheck for them. They're looking, 10,000 feet, real basic things.
So does this get inspected or audited or?
Not until you draw attention to yourself.
I mean, it's never been an issue or a problem.
Right, and like we've talked about
If it ain't
before,
broke, don't fix it.
never been an issue before is not safety. It's not the same thing, particularly with a legislature that very clearly is looking to hold towns accountable. They have the authority. Whether they've ever exercised that authority is obviously a different story.
Well, it's here or there. Don't make it any more complicated than it has to be.
So what we need to do is assign this fund to some, like, disaster recovery or,
So, and the part that we did last year, which, like I said, was a step in the right
Right.
direction, is, actually naming it. And one of them, I believe we called budget shortfall protection, which is great. That's in there as something we can do. The other we called acquisitions and infrastructure. I don't know why that ties my tongue every time, but it does. And what we're needing to do going forward is dial down and be a little more specific. The expectation is that those funds are being held for a purpose that will actually be fulfilled at some point.
right, and
Instead
will
of-
benefit the people along.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And as I've said, I'm open to suggestions. I think there have been some things discussed over the years as possibilities that, weren't necessarily able to happen at that time that may be more realistic at this time, or 3 or 4 years down the road, or, whatever you guys sit down and decide.
I don't know if we're following the guidelines or not, but Richard came up with something a couple of years ago about the internet service provided, for people that couldn't.
Right. We were discussing during the time of, how to use our funds, and it's when schools were at, and we were talking about having a potential site for kids to come that maybe didn't have homes that had internet service, or and
And it was some area, I think you had mentioned, that didn't have service
Yeah, because we used to have a lot,
geographically.
we had a lot of people would
It
come
may have changed
park in
since
the,
then. I don't know.
School parking lot and to
Yeah.
use the internet because
I
they
don't
didn't
remember all
have
the,
access to
I
that.
remember what
Right.
you're talking about, I don't remember all the specifics of it.
Well,
but
I knew that was something you had looked into.
They still have people go to the library and use their stuff because they don't have access to it in their area.
I think that was part of the problem with that, was having a spot to do it. To have a
Right,
hot
yeah, I
spot
think you're
for
right,
them to
Sheila,
use
yeah.
it. Cause they said something about the Bulletin Club at that time, but I don't think that was a acceptable idea at the time, so. I think it was probably location, where to do it
Yeah,
at,
yeah, I think you're
they
right.
would have access.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question, or do I need to wait until the end?
We have a little fire away.
This provision about providing property to preserve a railroad corridor, given that Momeyer has a train history, is there a chunk of disused railroad corridor around here that still has tracks that might be a town project to buy and maybe put something on it to go back and forth with?
It's being used.
Yeah.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Oh, my
Yeah.
bad. Okay, never mind.
State owns, I think the state owns most of the railroad.
Oh, so it's,
It's right under where you cross over.
Yeah.
oh, never mind. Oh, well. I would've thought.
Well, I know Brian had mentioned something about doing a memorial for,
Veterans.
veterans that had served there in Cairo.
Makes me smile every time I hear the train horn, bro. It's-
That might be a thing, sure.
And I had said something real about doing a park
The,
for the
the
kids.
track still
Yeah.
goes all the way to Spring Hope and then stops.
It what?
It goes to Spring Hope and stops.
Oh,
But the steel plant still uses it, Purdue still uses it,
Right.
the gas plant uses it,
Logging company.
Yeah, the logging.
the logging company.
Yeah.
I was working my way down the track, but I think that's the last one.
Strickland's in Spring Hope.
it's
Yeah.
last.
Makes those buckets. Don't they use it? Some-
Yes.
Maybe.
They do.
Purdue, the gas plant, logging company, and who else?
Strickland Equipment in Spring Hill.
Oh,
They're the end of the line.
Yeah.
thanks.
Well, Mr. Mayor, if you're writing them down, I just made a list, and you can laugh, but anyway, I'm gonna go ahead with it. This comes from my wife, sidewalk. I said, well, you gotta have a distance. Well, this came from the trailer court to a touch of the Father's love. I said, well, do you wanna, I just was I said, you want to overpass and come back down the other side? Anyway, but she mentioned Sheila mentioned the park. I had
Right.
a pavilion. I see some towns with, you know, I know it's maintenance, you know, and I know I get all that, but I'm just talking about ideas.
Right, yeah.
I just think it's real nice, you know, if you could have. Went by going to Virginia the other day, and a church got creative and had a walking trail out where they had their graveyard. So
Oh, yeah.
thought that was pretty neat, and then put a children's thing over there. So that's, you know, something. I know you've got the Rueton building. I'm just, you know, just throwing it out there as something we
I had
could do.
somebody mention to me streetlights.
My
Yeah,
wife
I've
mentioned
had
that also.
I've had someone to
They're over
mention
her
that,
sidewalk.
because they no longer living in
I should
Lamar.
have, I didn't read it properly. The lights, yep, she did mention that.
Heard that one too.
Yeah.
Personally, I think they'd rather had it than had the trash, but that's
It's a lot more money though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
well,
A lot of upkeep.
Yeah.
for example, when me and my father put in the subdivision, Duke Energy, and I don't know how it works for municipalities, but when you put in street lights, you had 2 or 3 options that were no charge. And then if you got fancy, there was a charge, you know, but a way to put that, but
It is, and you may know this better than anybody, is it, they want to install the light so you'll buy the power for it? Is that basically the gist?
I've got to be careful here. I know some subdivisions are put in and there's not a line item for the bill, but it's distributed amongst the people to stay
Makes sense.
in the subdivision. That's the most common one that I know, or I'm sure that, or either a town, I don't know how it does in municipalities. You know, there may be one bill to the town, I'm not.
I know about solar street lights, and you have to pay for electricity.
That's an idea.
No, I mean, it'd be cheaper. I mean, not up front. Of
You
course.
have to have
It'd probably be more
somebody, yeah,
expensive.
put them in for us, yeah.
Yeah, it'd probably be more expensive up front, but down the road, it'd probably save you money.
Yep.
Because what we paying for electricity, you just have to pay for the sunshine.
They actually had a contract to put them in the subdivision, but it was, you know, no charge. But I guess they're looking at getting their payback with the citizens that live in their
Right.
subdivision.
Any others?
The town doesn't have a cemetery, right?
Does anybody,
No,
No.
does anybody on the planning board have any suggestions as far as that's concerned?
About
Anything the town could do for the citizens, like street lights or
Right.
sidewalks,
What
or
we could use these funds for, Brian.
what would benefit the citizens of Momar?
Right.
I mean, I kinda like it dark at night.
Sir.
He likes
I like it dark at night.
Well, I'm all
That's
right,
good.
because Colleen's got a light in her backyard, and Marshall's got a light at the gate, so we're fine.
Well, I wasn't making no motion, I was just saying what people have, you know, mentioned in the past.
I don't think we're, personally, I don't think we're at the need of having street lights.
Right. But the sidewalk might not be a bad idea, especially with Ed out walking all the time.
You wear it out.
And a lot of other people walk too for exercise and all too, so it would probably might be be a good thing to think about.
Long term, Mayor, you asked for opinion. Long term, in my mind, in my lifetime, we've had 2 town offices. We started over in the fire department building, and then we're able to get this building. And long term, I don't know if it would be a smart investment to try to buy property beside this property for a town hall expansion, or maybe invest in a new town hall building and make this more parking lot / playground. You know, obviously we're all cozy in here, but when we have guests, you know, it is tight. So now I'm not in favor of spending money to waste money, but long term, I would like to keep a nice town hall where we can display, you know, our historical stuff, where our citizens are welcome to come participate. And then, you know, just long term, I feel like investing in our town infrastructure in that way needs to stay on a long term plan. So that's kind of, I've been here for 35 years since day one, and I've always liked knowing I'm welcome to come to the town hall and that our doors are open and have a nice place provided. So, and this is an older house, and we know, you know, it does have a lifetime.
Turn this into the welcome center.
Yeah, the welcome center. So, anyway, that's my opinion as a lifetime citizen, and
You know, in addition to what Jordan said, I mean, down the road, you could incorporate maybe a community building in the same facility.
Yeah.
I don't know where, as they're tearing down the one in Spring Hope.
Right.
but that's other issues.
That's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
We did talk about extending that way, Randy and I, in our discussion.
Yeah, I mean, there is,
That's
now,
good idea.
I'm not for getting rid of farmland, because that's a big problem. However, a small amount of adjacent farmland, if it would become available, I feel like that will be a nice addition to this property here. Of course, farmland is important to all of us in our community, so I'm not saying wipe out a bunch of farmland, I'm just saying maybe at least start the conversation of something that's adjacent to here.
Yeah, Ronnie Pace would agree with that, because he thought about all these solar farms that were going up.
Yeah.
You know, he said that's taking away our farmland.
And he always wanted us to have a library.
Right, yeah, I hadn't even thought about that.
Yeah.
Yep, he did. So,
That's something Miss Eloise Bass wanted too, was a library.
mm.
We've got a lot of
That's good.
possibilities.
If you had a library with a community building, then you'd have a place to hold stuff.
Okay.
So, what's the next step in exploration? We need to know what this stuff would cost us, right? We'll work on trying to get some nice round numbers.
Right.
Nothing firm. And,
Which ones do y'all get a price of?
We own the goods with Mr. Man.
I got a list, Sheila, but we'll check on, streetlights for sure, the feasibility, the hot spot, the Veterans Memorial, Park Pavilion, and sidewalks.
Well, I
Again,
mean, I've got all those listed.
Yeah.
So you already got ideas about all of them?
yeah, just some rough,
I think sidewalks, you can get grants
Yes.
from the government to do them, can't you?
you can,
You gotta pay for them?
yeah, the feds pay for
Red
a good
Oaks,
portion of those.
Red Oaks trying to put in sidewalks right now where they don't have any, so you might wanna check with them.
I wonder if the COG would, have anything about that.
I don't know, I'll check with those two.
So you said streetlights, Veterans Memorial, hotspot, sidewalks, and what else, Mayor?
Park Pavilion. What's that?
Cool.
So, we good on that?
Yeah.
Then what Jordan said, land,
Mm-hmm.
then, yeah.
I've got that
Town
one.
hall.
That one's more pending some land coming available, right? Instead of
Sometimes you have to
talking
pursue
out
it.
after somebody. I've had a couple of folks actually approach me about possibilities, so we'll see.
Of selling land to the town?
Yes.
Cool.
Alright. Now off to the planning board folder. I gave you guys a fat folder. That was, again, because at this point, this is kind of an educational process. Articles from the School of Government on what a planning board is, what it should do and what it can't do, and the same thing on the Board of Adjustment. You were also provided with minutes from every meeting since January 2024, and back and forth communications. Sheila also did a little survey project. You know, we were talking about whether planning boards and Board of Adjustments necessarily needed to be the same body and that kind of stuff, so she did some polling. There are the results of her polling.
That was the handout I gave them for
First thing this morning, okay? And just like anything else, there's
Well, up
Pluses and
front,
negatives to everything.
that had been brought up in the past. And I don't remember the state agency that approved it or said it was not uncommon in a small municipality to have, such as Colleen and Kenneth were on the planning board, and the mayor, and me and Jordan, and Brian and George Almum said that was a common practice and very ethical, and it's not an issue, so just to throw that out.
Absolutely. Now, that packet was provided for information's sake. Planning board works for you guys. That don't work for you. You will, from now on, be provided minutes of their meetings after their meetings. So you guys are abreast of everything that's going on. All right?
Okay. Since LaRue is a new member of the planning board, maybe she needs a copy of this stuff from the government that you give us,
We'll do that.
okay?
I don't think it
Brian,
it would
do
hurt
you
for
think that would be
everybody to get a copy.
appropriate for her to receive a copy of the stuff that he gave us about what a planning board does and stuff like that?
Yes, obviously, same thing with Josh. I mean,
Yeah, okay.
they're coming in fresh, you know,
Exactly.
they got a lot to learn.
Sheila, I'd be
about-
glad to give Brian my copy.
You know, they got a lot to learn.
You
Okay.
can keep doing, I'll make them copies.
Well, I'm probably not, I don't know what I'm gonna do with it.
I actually just had that conversation with Josh. You know,
Okay, yeah.
Well, I'd just like to say I appreciate what the planning board
I do
does
too.
and goes through.
I do, yeah.
Well, appreciate that.
Yeah.
What I was saying about Josh, you know, I had a conversation with him, you know, he's got a lot he's got to learn that he,
Right,
you know,
yeah.
doesn't know about zoning and those things. So
Oh, yeah.
it's gonna be a learning experience for him and Lou.
Well, it's actually for all of us. I mean, I learn things every day, and especially with us going through this,
Well, that's-
stuff we're going through now with the, ordinances and all that they're, reviewing for us.
Well, I think I asked several months back, I think the board needs to be informed of what the planning, even though it hadn't come across our table yet.
Right.
We need to be informed what's coming down the pipe. I think it's just a good way to operate.
Yeah.
And Brian will actually provide copies for everybody. Even
Well,
the guys that have been there a while, it might be a good refresher.
Well, it's good for all of, I mean,
Yeah.
being a commissioner and everything, sometimes it's better to go back and look at stuff and think, well, am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing, or, and all, so.
So you want all of them to get a copy of the packet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some of the towns have actual, not trying to throw more on Brian, but they actually have he's involved in the town board meeting where they have a report. Come to the town council meeting and give a report of what y'all working on. I don't know that it's needed here, but
Like
some towns operate that way.
Right. Well, like Will said, we'll get copies of their minutes, so that
Right.
will, and it is out there, am I right in saying we could look at it if we wanted to?
You know,
It's on YouTube.
like I said, I'm not trying to throw more work on Brian. I'm just saying that sometimes you might have questions
Right.
that the minutes don't
Exactly.
allow.
Ma'am. Adding to that point, Brian, Brian can't do everything, even though he's the chair. But if there is something that us as a planning board, if y'all have questions or would like us to participate, we can take turns attending and work it out amongst ourselves to have a representative here. We very much want to be a part of the town council, and we've always felt like we were a team. And sometimes there's change in personnel, and different people have different communication styles, and I want to make sure we stay on the same page as a unit and a unified group. So we're happy to work it out. If you would like one of us to attend the council meeting as a representative, we can work that out if needed.
I would love that
Yeah.
as a town council person. If they can work it out where Brian can assign somebody to come Like I said, I'm not trying to throw more on your plate, because I know you got a lot on your plate, but.
Well, I think we feel the same way. We would like to communicate, have a good communication. I don't wanna find something out in the newspaper again. I'd like to, be addressed by this group and vice versa. And I think that's the best way.
I agree.
The,
Yeah,
Well, I
do
think communication is the key because it
Yeah.
is difficult to come in here and things be brought up and
Right.
two people know what's going on.
Blindsided.
I'm sitting here saying, I didn't, if I know ahead of time,
I
I
understand.
can,
Yeah.
I can think and be
That's right.
prepared to make a statement, but, when you come in here and you feel like you the out man, it's just,
I will say that communicating through the newspaper is not the way it needs to be done.
right.
Do my best.
And I'm not referring to you.
Well, just for example, the fire department, when the fire board meets, and I'm on that board also, we have the fire chief come in, he gives a report every month. But that same concept is what I'm suggesting. It might not always be possible, but it would be nice.
We'll see if we can work something out. I may be able to shift some things in my schedule and be able to meet once a month.
Maybe we'd have to come up.
And like you said, I mean, like Jordan said, maybe if,
Y'all only meet quarterly, you
No,
don't
I'm
have
talking
to
about
come once every 2 months.
the town council.
Well, and when we were going through, we may have more meetings while we're going through the ordinance, so it may.
Right.
in some quarters or some months, you may have nothing, some you may have something. And if you can't be here in person, you could maybe just
Have a report.
have a report. Not to be in person, but
Right.
in person's better. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to give you an excuse to not do it. I just think it comes across more personable and more better communication in person than it does a report.
Well,
But
and it allows for back and forth questions.
exactly.
But however, in most cases, there's really nothing for them to come report. I mean, I'm just saying, because there's not a whole lot going on.
If it's nothing going on, there's nothing going on, but
Lately, we've been making the newspaper a lot, so there is enough to come report.
Yep.
Except for the first 20 minutes of today, which I missed.
You can go back and watch it on YouTube.
Okay. I'll do
You didn't miss nothing.
that. The garbage guy was talking, I missed that.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
All right. Anything further on that one? Let's move on to council. Mayor payments. We all had a copy of the ordinance. We have run it through the lawyer to make sure we're tight and right. He says we are. Both on this one and the next one.
Alright.
Okay.
So this just kind of brings it where we can write the checks.
Right.
Right.
We
Makes it
are,
legal.
we are codifying the ability to write the checks.
which is just a formality.
Right.
so that,
Well, I mean,
It's in place.
It's more than a formality because the checks won't get written until it's done,
Right,
but
yeah.
yes, exactly.
so do we need to handle these separately?
Separately.
Yeah.
Yep. An ordinance may only be one item. They also call for a roll call vote rather than an aye and nay.
Right,
Aye and
okay.
nay. All right.
So we need a motion,
Need
right?
a motion on the first one.
Okay, make a motion that we adopt the adoption of the ordinance for the town council quarterly payments.
Second.
All right, Sheila will call out names individually for the roll call vote.
Edward Jackson, yea or nay?
Yay.
Richard Matthews,
Yay.
Martha Lucas,
Yay.
George Allen Edwards.
Yay.
Motion carries. We'll get that added to the ordinance book.
Okay.
And the next one is the planning board
Alright.
/ board of adjustment.
Make a motion that we accept or approve the ordinance for the compensation of the planning board / board of adjustment members for the town of Mulmire.
I second.
All right, Sheila will do the roll call vote again.
Edward Jackson,
Yay.
Richard Matthews,
Yay.
Martha Lucas,
Yay.
George Allen Edwards.
Yay.
Motion carries. We'll get that one added to the ordinance book as well.
Okay.
All right, hazard mitigation plan.
I just had it, and I put it back.
Good, Jim. Okay.
Yeah, I already had one.
Okay.
What's the hazard mitigation plan?
Good to see y'all, I've gotta go back to work.
All right,
All right, take care.
see you later.
That came in, the hazard mitigation plan, the girl sent me the email on, Friday, and I went ahead and printed it out because we've got to get it signed and sent back into her. It's a 723-page regional hazard
I've
mitigation
read that
plan. There's 2 notebooks that are sitting in the middle of the table. I did print a copy for the town, so if you want to read it, feel welcome to borrow it. But I'm not putting y'all one off, I'm sorry.
I did a big article that summarized that, so if you want me to get you a copy of that, it was maybe a couple months ago. I went through all 700 pages and boiled it down, so. if you
Oh,
want a
bless
copy-
your heart, girl.
Yeah, it was awful, but I can get you a copy if that would help you.
Thank you.
Is there a way you can view it online?
I can send you the link to it.
Okay.
I'll send you the link and check it out.
Oh,
And if you really want a copy, I'll print you
No.
one. It took me all day Friday to get that printed.
that's a
out.
whole, that's over a
Get it
packet of
in
paper.
Well, some of
Yeah.
it's like broke down by municipalities,
Yeah.
so you don't have to read all of it, just.
Oh.
Yeah, it's broke down by county. too.
Just send a link.
Yeah, it's nasty.
Even I went cross-eyed, by the way. I have not read the whole thing.
I'll get you a copy, or at least tell you, I'll run.
Oh.
it.
So we need to adopt this resolution?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Make a motion that we adopt the resolution for the hazard mitigation plan.
Second.
There were specific things in there that Mulmire was either, for each town, that they were either still working on or new ones. So, did they see where those were?
We got to have a vote.
There was for
Wait.
every town.
Okay.
I'm holding it. I'm
Yeah,
holding it. We're in the
Gotcha.
discussion period.
Okay.
Either carried
Okay.
over from the last one that they were supposed to be working on, or there were new ones that,
What
They
I
were
do
supposed to
want to
do.
make sure, that, so that there's full understanding what it is this is for. This is not our town's emergency action plan.
Right,
This is
no, it was a
a
regional.
regional,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and this is something that's required to be redone every few years in order to qualify for FEMA funding,
Mhm.
basically.
And if you don't adopt it and you get, you're not allowed to get your funding.
Correct, exactly. If you haven't adopted it, you're on your own.
It's broke down by town into each one is working on.
I'll send everybody the
Yeah.
link, but I really didn't want to print off everybody a copy. But
Nah.
you can borrow that one if you'd like to. We wouldn't all fit in one notebook, so.
Yeah.
I got to order a notebook with a bigger binder on it, so it can go in the same.
I might have one at the house, Sheila, I'll look.
Okay.
I'll look and see if cause I have a bigger one. I'll see if I still got it, it might work.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So, we have motion, we have second. Is there any further discussion? All right, all in favor of adopting, new regional hazard mitigation plan, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Sign that and get it sent off. All right, last piece. Our regularly scheduled meeting next month is August 11th. I will be in the mountains with a bunch of boys. We have or you have the option of, we can move it up a week, we can move it back a week, or you can let Edward run it, whatever y'all want to do.
Let's see.
So what does that make? First August,
It will be August the 4th or August the 18th.
Okay.
I would prefer the 18th if y'all don't mind.
Yeah, I think I
If you're
would
changing
too.
it.
I don't think I've got a conflict with the 18th or the 4th, but 18th's fine.
You got anything on the 18th?
I don't,
I don't.
I need to check with my boss. I think I knew the 4th is open.
I'm okay.
Yeah, I don't have anything on the 18th.
Well, that gives you time to clear your schedule. You can straighten things out by the 18th.
I'm waiting on my brain,
Your brain.
my wife's schedule, family schedule calendar. I don't have everything I know of, but
Look, I have one thing, I'll bring up since we're waiting on Edward. I did complete the LGC report for this year, for this quarter. There's a copy of that in your packets. Nick Frazier has started cutting the grass, but I was going to ask, is it okay with the council for me to just pay him like a 6-month, instead of having to cut him a check every single month for $100? Or would y'all rather me just cut my check every month? I mean, it don't matter really, it's just saving up a check, really.
So is this first week he's cut it?
First month, yeah.
First month.
He's already cut it one time, he's gotta cut it again, he's gotta come this week.
Okay.
He came,
Somebody cut the grass around the Mummeyer sign near the,
I don't know who did that.
That's the royalty sign.
Wilsons do that.
Talking about in front of the forestry station.
okay, that's the Royalton sign.
That's,
They
Okay.
have
it's
someone
welcome to
sign.
Mumbai, but the Royaltons sponsored that and built it and put it up.
Well, I noticed somebody cut the grass around it, and that's the first time I had noticed that it had actually been cut.
We
I
actually
mean,
put that up.
They might cut it
Well,
periodically, but,
whoever's in charge, some do better than others.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
yeah.
When we first put it up, I was a president over there in '95. That's how
Mhm.
long it's been up.
Yeah,
And I started for a little while, but
well, it looked good around this Sunday when I
Yeah.
it
noticed
looks
it.
better than it's ever looked
Yeah.
right now. I don't know
Yeah.
I actually don't know who's doing it.
But they did a good job, so.
They may have the yard maintenance people doing it, I'm not sure. Just cutting the roof.
Right, yeah, that's what I figured, maybe they had gotten them to do it, you know. So.
I wish the state would come cut their sections of,
Oh, I do too.
maintenance, cause, that was fun for boys last week.
Oh, yeah, we appreciate you putting flags up to them.
Yeah, it looked great. Thank you.
There's a couple that if they don't maintain them before the next time, will not get on, cause it's hazardous to get the
I don't
ladder
blame
in
them.
and all that good
I
stuff.
don't blame them.
Yeah.
Just FYI.
I'm good with either.
Okay. Do we need a motion to?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I make a motion that we change our August meeting to August 18th instead of the 11th, okay?
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Meeting is moved. That's all the business that I have today. No one else has anything?
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Good to see you today.
Good to see you, tell Ronnie B I said
I
hey.
Meeting
sure
adjourned.
will.
Ronnie, what's the next planning board meeting?
What